Hello, I'm FPX Toycat and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. And you might be wondering why I've been collecting so much stone in shulker boxes recently. I've done a lot of big projects, including the Elytra Tunnel. We'll talk about that, for unrelated reasons a little bit later. But I've been doing a lot of projects that got me a lot of stone, 8 shulker boxes full in fact, and that's not including the stuff I've already moved to the other side of my world because I am currently creating a forest covered in stone. It's just a little bit of custom biome creation, really, I'd say. And in today's video, we're going to be going ahead and we're going to be continuing said project, and in reality, as you all know from the survival streams, they're a fun opportunity for us to do a big survival project bit by bit. I mean, it's the sort of project that takes hours of work, so it's fun to live stream it and talk to you all while I do that, but also it's a fun opportunity just to kind of, I guess, goof off while we, place some stone blocks in Minecraft. And if you like the idea of goofing off while we place stone blocks in Minecraft, boy, have you found your way to the right video. I'm not sure how many people would describe their exact preferences as that, but you know, I don't know how many people would describe their exact preferences as anything, but that doesn't mean that people don't want anything. Checkmate, that is exact logic that definitely checks out. So hi, hello, I'm IBX Toycat. Hope you're having a great day, because you know, I'm having a better day. You know, you might think you're having a good day. My day's better, yeah, how'd you feel about that? How'd you feel about your day being beaten by mine? Do you feel worse than it because of the comparison? Also, yeah, this is the getting stoned in a forest stream. I'm gonna, obviously the forest is a place that I'm gonna be, heavily stoning, and I feel like getting stoned in a forest is a pretty normal activity for someone in their 20s to do, like myself. By the way, also, 'tis the season, should mention, it's backwards because I flipped my camera for YouTube. Maybe I should unflip it, just so I can do that real quick, just for a minute, just to really... Oh no, I can't do it for a second, it's not one of my webcam filters. The things I can do for a second if I want to, in case you're curious, include things like removing the background and showing off more of my camera at once. But sadly, I cannot unflip my camera on a whim like that. But yeah, hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and in case you're curious as to why this one was late, because it's not a Toycat stream if it's not late. Every Toycat stream is going to be late. This time I tried to start pretty much on time, only a minute late, which a minute late for me is several minutes too early. I mean, I'm going to be real with you all. But yeah, basically, I tried to start this one perfectly on time, but YouTube just had issues. It wouldn't accept my live stream for whatever reason. So I don't know what went wrong there. Anyway, so if you want to see the project as it currently exists, here it is right over here. As you can see, this entire birch forest right here, or at least up until that bit at least, and maybe a little bit over here, we're going to be covering it entirely in stone to make this kind of beautiful stone biome instead. Because Minecraft doesn't have many stone-covered biomes. In fact, it has one, and even then it covers a lot of gravel, and even then it's only high in the sky. What if we had a biome that consisted of birch trees and stone blocks only? Because not only are we going to be covering the ground in it, but I'll be replacing the birch trees later. Maybe even the leaves, so maybe covering the leaves in stone. Again, these are issues we can address as we run into them, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you, Charlotte, and everyone else who is just hopping in for the first time right now. So yeah, this is my base of operations for this little project. Again, I just want to kind of get everything out of the way because, you know, it's always important to explain what we're doing in the background because, you know, apparently some people come to my channel to watch the Minecraft itself. I'm just as shocked as all of you are. But yeah, we're going to go ahead, place down most of these blocks right here in kind of a fun little pattern. It's fun when you have enough shulker boxes that you can even place the shulker boxes in a fun pattern. But you better believe that is a privilege we have managed to receive today. So one goes over there, one goes over here. And we've got this like almost hopscotchy pattern. And actually, you know, can I share something pretty deeply personal with all of you? I haven't shared this one with anyone yet, but it's pretty important that you should know, I think. I actually don't know how hopscotch works. And every time, like as a kid, we used to play it a few times. Like, don't ask me. There was hopscotch on the playground and some people I knew would always play it. And I'd be like, you know what? I'm down to give this a go, you know? It seemed like not my jam, but I always tried. Also, forest is my favorite place to get stoned, says Cosmic Crime. Welcome to live stream, Cosmic Crime. Good to see you again. Hope you're having a wonderful... You know, actually, you know, I hope your Tuesday goes bad. It's not even a Tuesday, is it? It's a Wednesday. You know, I hope your Tuesday went bad, because then your Wednesday can be better by comparison. There we go. Saved it. Not insulting subscribers anymore. So yeah, we're covering the forest in stone. All the bits like this will be slowly covered in stone. It's going to be wonderful. But, also sorry about the end. I can't imagine the frustration. Yeah, I'm just trying not to think about the end right now. Again, right now we're going to focus mostly on things like this forest. What's wrong with my end? I don't know because I'm not in the end. Should we go to the end to do something? No, let's stay right here in the overworld. This is my beautiful strategy, and we'll see how it pans out. Because who doesn't want to do that? It's a cat therapy session. Yeah, I played hopscotch when I was a kid, and honestly, I never really understood the rules. Like, I played by the rules of the person with me. Like, there's a stone that goes on there, and then, like, you gotta get the stone back each time. Also, you've gotta hop, and then you gotta, like, put your legs out. But also, sometimes it's entirely hopping. Everyone I saw played hopscotch differently, and to this day, I still don't know how it works. And I don't think it's one of those things that's important enough that I should look it up. But also, I kind of want to, you know? It's that eternal crisis. This is something... Things like this make me realize, I guess, just how, like, the normal person must see things. Because usually, when it comes to stupid stuff to do with, like, I don't know, wars and countries and geopolitics... Thank you so much for the cat girl. I stopped watching you and you were right about how really good it is. Also, 'tis the season. 'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la. I actually calculated pretty geniusly, I think, myself. People are more giving when it's Christmas. That's a well-known fact, right? That's why, you know, YouTubers make more money in the Christmas period. And therefore, if I just convince people it's Christmas all the time, I'll rake in the donation money. Because you know what? This stream is a very transparent ploy to take your money from you. Haha, got you good, didn't I? But yeah, it's Christmas, and you know what? You know what I want for Christmas? I want your love and support in the form of donations, I guess. But no, hopscotch is like Pokemon. No one actually knows how to play. Man, seeing people play Pokemon competitively messed me up when I first saw it. I was like, do you know what this game is? Do you not understand? Also, hi, says Salvatore. See? Merry Christmas. Also, 420. Again, I know Salvatore's gives £4.20 donations, but again, it's a perfect fit for the Getting Stoned in a Forest stream, so thank you very much, Mr. Salvatore. I see you've shortened your name from Fugarino down to Salvatore. Also, does this mean it's Streamless 2.0, says Albie. You know what? It's still Streamless as far as I'm concerned. No, I'm streaming a lot more than I used to before Christmas. Like, I honestly am just, like, thinking to myself, like, you know what? I should stream. It'll be fun. There's some things I want to do. Let's get it done. And I like that there's kind of, like, a miniature community here. I don't know how miniature or not it is, but it's nice that some people are like, yeah, actually, I'd like to see you stream too, Mr. Catman on the internet. So, yeah, it's exactly what we're doing. What is the purpose of this, says Noodles. I mean, what's the purpose of anything, really? When you really get down to brass tacks, what is the purpose of anything? Like, what's the purpose of oxygen, you know? Really? And the answer to that is there's pretty good purposes for oxygen. And, but yeah, just like the, in the same way that, like, most people, like, in the same way I didn't want to look up the rules of hopscotch, even now it's like, you know what? It's a garbage game. Don't need to learn about it. It's not going to improve my life. I'm sure people think that about all sorts of things. Like, you know, do you ever, like, you know, it's one of my favorite things that the news does. Like, again, the news is, a mostly outdated term and is kind of rough when you compare it to modern day stuff. But, like, one of my favorite things for the news to do is to, like, ask for the common man's opinion on a topic. And it's like, so what do you think about insert issue here? And you see people with the most absurd conclusions, and they say things that, like, aren't quite 100% lies, but are so far from the truth. And you're like, how did you learn that? And you're like, well, yeah, I mean, like, who has time to know things anymore? You know what's easier than knowing things? Entirely guessing and making them up as you go. Which is why, fun fact, stone is actually a mineral, I think. That sounds true, right? Yeah, probably correct on that one. And also, I think that the... I don't know. Something I heard about recently that I wanted to share with you, actually, is antinatalism, because I've always known about, you know, I think we've discussed on this channel before, the idea that, like, you know what, everyone thinks that humanity isn't having enough kids, but we're actually having, so everyone thinks humanity is having too many kids, we're actually not having enough kids, or at least, like, in the Western developed world. In specific areas of the world, we are having too many kids, but in most parts of the world, most people who watch these live streams, especially, who don't live in sub-Saharan Africa and aren't having 7 children on average per person, are statistically having children at below replacement rate, which is a problem for most civilizations. But anyway, so I think we've spoken about that before, but an interesting movement I wanted to kind of add to that is something that, like, I hate because I vaguely agree with despite thinking it's stupid, because there's something called antinatalism. So it's a movement of people who, like, on a philosophical level, don't think that it's okay to have children. there's and it's pretty logical when you think about it, because most actions you do as a human, you try to do with the consent of others. If if I take something from you without asking first and without getting your permission, that's called theft. That's a crime. You get locked up for that. And even if you don't get locked up, most people wouldn't do it because it's, we don't do bad things, generally speaking. We try not to as individuals. And so using that same logic that you shouldn't do something without someone's consent, big movement in the world always, right? The idea behind antinatalism is that a child can't consent to being born. A human life is being created when you have a child, but that child cannot consent, right? It's like being alive as a punishment, says Jaro. Exactly, being alive to some people, a increasing number of people actually, like depression rates are sadly sky high. The lack of meaning of purpose is sadly propagating in the world. Something I actually would say Minecraft is one of the things that helps with that. But anyway, depression is increasing. Even though living standards are better than ever before, the number of people who psychologically aren't great with it is increasing as well. And therefore, if life is pain, why would you inflict life on someone? And let alone, why would you inflict life on someone without their permission, right? Children don't need consent, says Rick Rickerston. FBI, Rick Rickerston, you want to come to that guy's house? Children do not consent is not an okay statement to say on the internet, Mr. Rick Rickerston. Fun fact. I know what you mean though. You like that. Obviously, it's not stupid, but it's not practical because no species can work if you have to ask for the consent of the life that's being created in order to create it. But it does make the interesting question, right? Like, what if you have a child, they can always make themselves unalive, but if they're born, they don't have a choice. I mean, but then by that logic, shouldn't you be obligated to have a child and let the child choose whether it wants to continue living or not? Every couple, not every couple, every woman and the closest person to them in their life, they should be forced to have children, right? Except that's not really a great logic. So yeah, what do you guys think? I want to hear again, I think it's clearly stupid, but also to me it proves the the kind of questionability of other points. I agree with not having children for me anyway. I don't want to have to say sorry for bringing you into this world. I mean, I'm sure everyone's had something at some point in their life where someone's been like, I hope you're grateful I brought you into this world, and you almost have to be like, I'm actually not grateful, or that I'm actually quite sad that I'm alive right now because of something that you did. So, saying that I should be grateful doesn't really help things. It's actually the worst thing in general, saying people should be grateful for things by itself. It's something, even if it's true, there's lots of things that even if they're true, you can't tell people because it doesn't help. Also, at what point would the child make that decision, says Emily. So here's my theoretical solution, Emily. I think that age... By the way, do we have way too many people named Emily in the stream? I feel like we do. I feel like real problem in the live stream. I think we should take, 25% of the Emilys in the stream and offer them as a tribute, Or, they can change their names. Just, yeah, there you go. There's my solution. But, my idea is, I don't think children are people until easily, the minimum you could even convince me is, 7. Because that's when you can start getting unique information from their heads. If you say to a 3-year-old, actually, my mother hates me for this, but, I met my 7-year-old brother, 8-year-old, half-brother, recently, and I was like, so friend, what do you think about the, situation in Iran with the missiles? And, my mother was just like, no, she shut down that conversation. And it's like, well, if you can't think about an issue, even if it's just hey, do you think that juice is a bit too sugary these days? If you can't have unique opinions, are you really a person? To me, if you're not putting out interesting stuff, you're less interesting than a robot. My Roomba can do more than a child, and I'm just saying. So when you turn how does one ask a child if they want to be born? So what you do when the woman is pregnant is you put your ear to the belly and you continue on that way. Also, I don't think children are people. I will stand by this stance, internet. You think it's something to be embarrassed about? It's my proudest belief. I think it's incredibly true. Also, first convo you ever have a sibling is about World War III. Okay, you know what? First of all, the Iran missile thing, nothing to do with what everyone likes to believe that, like, oh yeah, it's World War III, it's starting off in the stuff, but like, I think that's a huge. I think that's as silly as like. To me, that's like a headline-selling thing that everyone buys up because it's a fun thing to talk about.
I'm a mother and have always known that I wanted to be a mom, but it's a personal choice that my husband and I agreed on. It's not for everyone and it shouldn't be forced.
So, first of all, I actually agree with that, but I think that... Also, first live stream, I'm seeing you, but are you going to replace the tree leaves with cobblestone? What I'm thinking of doing is replacing the tree stems with diorite. I've got some even specially laid out here. And then the trees with something else, I'm not sure what. But no, with regards to... oh man, I need to find the... Okay, here we go. But with regards to the children thing, as far as like, should you have children or not, I think it's definitely like... Obviously, both people who are mixing their DNA should have to consent. The fact that that isn't true in modern society is interesting to me. Because you have a world where, like, only one of the three parties, you know, mother, father, child, has to consent to make that baby true. So that's kind of wacky weird to me. But, you know, we're talking about biology. And that's where my kind of point lies in this one, that, like, in reality, even though antinatalism... You know, you can make a pretty solid argument. Like, yeah, children don't ask to be born. It's a solid argument that goes against how things are done. And that's... I don't think people like this. It's like a harsh fact to learn about reality. But I think the truth is that the real world isn't drawn by... You know, you can win a technical argument, but if you go far enough against the nature of things, a technical argument isn't good enough. You know? Like, oh yeah, it is arguable that we should just kill all humans and, you know, then the planet would be doing better. But then you're questioning, like, well, I mean, that's correct from the point of view of the planet, but what about from the point of view of the millions of people you have to kill? And in the same way, like, you might be correct that you're saving... I'm not Emily, nor am I Welsh, says not Emily or Pufferfish. Thank you very much for the £1, my man. I always say you become a person at 10. I feel like that's when you're fully conscious of your actions and you have memories, says Yonder35. Yeah, 10 to me is like, you can be interesting at age 10. You probably aren't, but you can be. Also, have you heard about men suing their parents for getting them circumcised as small children? I feel like male circumcision, rough topic for a Minecraft YouTube channel, but very briefly, you know, in America, it's more common than it is not for you to... Okay, you know how, like... No, we're gonna... It's a form of mutilation. You're taking a part of the human body and you're saying, actually, you know, like a part of the reproductive organ without the child's, you know, this is definitely, you know, whether a child can consent to being born or not is a silly rhetorical argument. Whether a child can consent to having part of their sex organs cut off may be a bit of a different, anyway, you know, I don't want to start the whole, like, Americans being like, actually, I like that, you know, some adults chopped off part of me when I was a child because it's slightly easier to clean, you know? I think that we should chop off more body parts from children. You know what? That's fine. You can have that opinion. But you're wrong. You know? I've never thought to myself like, oh boy, biggest problem in my life is how, you know, I have weird stuff going on. Anyway, you know what? Whatever. It's weird. I get it. It's a whole thing. But anyway, my point was, even though you might feel like you have a point when you argue something like, oh yeah, you know, anti-natality movement. Natality? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. It's barbaric and should be illegal. Yeah, right. Like, even for religious reasons, it's like, so man in the sky tells you you gotta chop off, you know, baby, you know, dicks. It's like, even then, it's like, at the very least that. But like, if it's not a man in the sky, if it's your next door neighbor, you shouldn't do it. You know, if my next door neighbor tells me that I should kill and maim a horse, you know what I don't do? I don't, what do you call it? Cheap rip-off. Hey, you know, high quality stuff. So let's move on the conversation from, many adults are incapable of having unique opinions, says FJ. That's totally true. Again, I'm gonna get into like accidentally eugenics-y conversation here soon. But I do think your value as a person, like, because okay, I don't know if this is everyone, so this is just my personal conception of what makes you valuable as a person is, do you contribute to the human project? The human project is, I guess, like, super hard to practically define, but like the things as a species, we have made a lot of progress. That progress you might disagree with, but we've made an insane amount of progress. You know, like, we have invented things to make our lives easier. We've invented things that do so many crazy things. We sent a disc out to space with, like, you know, pop culture and, like, directions to Earth, which I still think sending a disc out to space for aliens to read with location of the Earth without knowing who the aliens are first might be one of the stupidest things humanity ever does. But, like, we've done a lot of cool things as a species. Can you contribute to that project in any way? Again, that contribution might be making a painting that people enjoy in their spare time to be rewarded for the, you know, the things they do towards the project. That thing might be like, oh yeah, what I do is I enjoy the fruits of other people. You know, like, if you're like a part of that, you know, movement that does something, even if your contribution is like the opposite way to everyone else, you know, we need people. You need people to oppose everything. Sure, you need someone to be actively doing something towards the rest of mankind, and you know, something to move it in some direction, even if it's the tiniest nudge in a direction. You know, there's 7 billion humans. None of us really make a big thing. So, also, if the philosophy is where most of us are here, welcome to the club. I hope that wasn't too philosophical. Also, you uttered the words "chop off baby dicks" in the Minecraft stream. You truly are an enigma. That's what people want to do. That's what people who are pro. Oh, you know, again, it's silly to me. It's crazy to me. But here we are. Why do you look wet or briefly took a shower? Something about hair, I think people say, right? It's something sort of like oily hair. Some people see that as wet. Which, I mean, like, oil is a type of moisture, right? Although it's a type of moisture that the more you put wet in your hair, the more it regenerates. But, again, you know, hair is a mystery to me. I've done a lot of research into it, and, like, everything seems to be like, oh yeah, it's kind of like, it's like acne, right? Where people like to say, like, oh yeah, the solution to acne is one thing. This one thing will help you and make it amazing. You know, if we had one cure, do you know how much, like, you could make from that? Do you know how much people don't want this and are willing to pay? Right, but like, yeah, it's like anything cosmetic based is always gonna be down to like stuff like this, and therefore my understanding of hair is like, if you shower, you regenerate the oils, and then they come back. And dreadlocks here says Cosmic Crime. But yeah, today I might be sweaty today. Also, I went climbing all of today. Like I had a very intensive workout today, that like in the form of doing some stuff. Minecraft was a great advancement for humans, says Arthur Morgan. You know, maybe a meme comment. I'm not sure, Mr. Arthur. I actually agree with this though. Like, Minecraft is an advancement for all humans. In your spare time, you can do all these sorts of things that are vaguely productive or vaguely not. I don't know. Trust me, because I make jokes about murder, it doesn't mean I kill people. Trust me, the white van in the driveway isn't mine. Hey, see, you said you didn't murder people, but then you implied you did. That is human, my friend, and you have nailed it. So anyway, we're gonna place a barrel just for like garbage over here, I guess, because like seeds and flowers, like we don't want them, but we're gonna pick them up, and it's gonna be a whole thing. And now we can pick up more stone, which is just my favorite thing in the world to do. Which of these shulker boxes I've been using? Like, I have to have used. Okay, we've used this one over here and the one in front of it. So let's just keep taking from both and keep placing all this stone, because we need a lot of stone, by the way. But yeah, Minecraft is a game which is not only influential in its own right, but also it allows for a lot of other things to be done. People like to say that art is valueless in the world, but art is undervalued by the world, but it's not valueless. Art is kind of like nature. It's a well. Oh, we got a pillager raid. How wonderful. It's been shown that like when you show people different ways for things to be done art-wise, it helps them work out different ways to be done in every other aspect of their life. Not asset of their life. I mean, people have other assets in their life, and it might help them with those too. But yeah. So that's the whole thing. My favorite, diamond hose. You know what? Never waste your hose on a diamond. Wait. I stand by my comment. I stand by it. Sticky Blicky, says Josh G. When I was younger, my my Indian friends used to use blick as a way to describe people who were like, you know, like really black. Because also, Charlotte Portson, not straight out of the comfort, but she wants to be known from a nurse's perspective. Circumcision has no medical benefits. Oh wait, controversial opinion as an American. Yeah, no, it's a tradition thing, right? Like, it's wacky to me that it's a tradition. Again, like, just because something's always been done doesn't mean it needs to be done. It means there might be a reason for it that you should look into, but you shouldn't do something. It's a good default if you don't care, but if you care about things, look into it. You know, just saying. If you're gonna have a child, just consider, like, you know what? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna chop off random parts of it because, you know, my forefathers did before me, or am I not? You know, you switch your live streaming times. Later equals yes. Honestly, most live streamers, I'm the worst for this. I'll just admit it right now. I'm a bad streamer because this is a fun hobby. I just like to talk to people on the internet every now and then. But I live stream when it's like, do I feel like live streaming? Yes, I will stream at that time. I've done a few in the mornings too. But...
I am the Slim Welsh. Missed the last couple of live streams. So yeah, F those Ender Dragons.
Thank you so much, Jess Lemmer. Good to see you again, by the way. It's been... I did notice your absence. It was draining me the whole live stream. But yeah, that Ender Dragon thing, like, again, it's just like so much damage can be done by like a single bug in the case of this world. And you know, it's a reminder that when I make jokes about backing up, you know, we'll just back it up next time. If it's been a few days since I backed up the world and we're in a place that could cause some problems, we'll just kind of watch it out. IBX Toycat, the only man to move an entire biome. Damn straight. Damn straight. Earlier is better. What are you doing for the trees? Are you doing ores or something like granite? Again, I'm going to use diorite for the stems because it kind of matches, in my opinion. Maybe it's better if it doesn't match, but you know what? It doesn't matter too much. I wish the US would switch to the metric system. Man, yeah, this isn't... Okay, so the US uses English as their language, which is the best language for global commerce and trade, and it's smart, like, in terms of economic senses, which is what the US pretends to care about as a country. But then at the same time, the US uses a system of measurements that is very much the opposite. Also, thank you, Brookie Uwu, for becoming a cheap cat, and also...
Just got yelled at for 80 minutes by one of my patients. Your stream is just what I need to decompress, so here's my toy cat appreciation tax, red heart.
Thank you so much, Mischievous. Does that mean we have two people? I mean, patient, I don't know what that implies, nurse, doctor, somewhere in the... See, if you have a patient, either you're, you know, you got some questionable English and you're trying to tell me that you're a very calm, relaxed person, or you work in the medical field. We have more than two people, probably, I mean, we've got two or more people who both watch Toycat streams and work in the medical field. That seems suspicious, if you ask me. What do you reckon the link is, chat? Why do you reckon we have... You know, actually, wait, chat. Are you a nurse or doc? Do you work in the medical field? Type yes or no in chat. Let's see how many of you are doctors. Also, there are two systems measurements. One's been to the moon, one has not. Hey, got me there. I'm not sure if you got me. I generally don't know which it is. Oh, you're saying because America's been to the moon and they use metric. But that was, I mean, they use imperial. They don't use metric. It's a whole problem. Also, we got no's from anyone. Oh, so thank you, Mad Planet Guy. You cover up Forest Stones. I cover my problems with Toycat videos. So we got yes from Agent. You know, I don't know. I'm tense as someone. Stop watching my live streams where I talk about chopping off, you know, baby extremities. Canadian West Coaster. I'm still in my office. Is Jamie Seguenas. Yeah, no, it's really sad. You know, actually, I'm gonna be in America soon. I'll probably be live streaming later when I'm there. Actually, maybe early. I don't know how that works. I'm training as an addiction counselor. Just add to the medical-ish field. See, is counseling medical? I would say yes. I would say any form of psychological thing is medical, really. Also, just tip $2. Yeah, it's called tipping. I hate... In my head, I keep going back to donation, because people keep calling it donate. And even on Streamlabs, because, again, it's like... Even their system just says, like, donated this, that. It's a whole weird thing. I think like the earliest live streamers called it donating instead of because even it's the same as tipping, right? Here is a service that you like that is being performed for free otherwise. Would you like to pay money to support it? Except unlike, you know, in the case of another thing where it's like, well, you know, I've got an employer that's doing a thing. This is so that I can offer a free show to everyone in exchange for only the people who like it, tipping it, as opposed to like, oh yeah, we're going to charge you a certain amount of money for the waiter, and then also you... tipping aside. So tipping is the correct term in terms of what it is in terms of society. But enough streamers call it donating that it's now like the common parlance word. Like, what is it called when you give money to a streamer on the internet? It's called, you know, concerning Patreon subscription, or it's called a donation. There you go. I'm a pharmacy technician, and my patient didn't get the answer she wanted from me. See, the word pharmacy technician, like, it doesn't perfectly line up in my head, so I'll assume that they have a prescription they wanted. Oh, no, wait, they're trying to get some drugs. They're like a tweaker or something, right? And they're like, you know, I need some meth. And you're like, hey, we don't prescribe meth because you got a cold. And it's like, no, I want some meth. Give me the meth. That's how I picture it. Gotta tip the cam boy.
Gotta tip the cam boy.
It's true, you gotta tip the cam boy. I mean, if you don't tip the cam boy doesn't get happy and say out your name, Mr. Plops. But yeah, that's why you need to stone a while ago, says Phantom Pig 791. Exactly, it all comes together now, eh? It all comes together now. Tipping is implied that it's required to some extent, even if socially required in the US anyway. Well, it's required because the people get paid less than minimum wage for working a job, you know? Like, if I was working a job, and it would be... If I would starve if you didn't give me money, that would be messed up. I think. Like, if you not giving me money caused me to starve, like, what happened to your end dimension, by the way? You can see the video, right? I'm going to deal with it later. After that video, I've just kind of left it alone for a bit. And that is how things shall stay. That's my plan. I hope you like it, because it's totally my thing. But yeah, I think it'd be messed up if I said, hey, donate now. Why haven't you donated? I need the money. Like, I'm starving out here. The lights are gonna turn out if you don't. It's not what live stream should be. That's not. It's if it's that, then it's not tipping. It might be done in that same way, but that would be a donation in my opinion. When it's like, this is, for some reason, society, or you know, my role in society has failed me, and okay, so randomly disconnect from the live stream. Sorry, 5-second cut for some reason. I don't know what just happened there. But yeah, the idea that if I was, I think that would be a donation system. Tipping is like, you appreciate a thing, buy a beer, buy a bucket of chicken, buy, you know, buy something that isn't necessity. You know the hierarchy of needs, like when something everyone needs is food, water, and then debatably a place to live or a place to shelter of some form. You know, you're not tipping, you're not donating, because that would probably be to get to that level. I'd say when you give a homeless person money, you're donating to them. Again, you shouldn't, for a lot of reasons. Please, if there's one thing you take away from this video, look into why you should not give money to homeless people. You know, just do that for yourself. Like, give to actual causes when you do that. You know, donate to actual causes as opposed to random dudes on the street who may or may not need it. But I would say that is a donation because you're, you know, it's giving it to a person. The person, you have a thing, the person wants the thing, you give the person the thing, and that's a donation. But in this case, it's like a tip because, or supporting, like Jamie Sigüenza says, because it's just like, yeah, you allow the thing to exist for longer because you make the thing more financially viable, and you buy me chicken at the same time. I went to Tim Hortons today. It was great. Also, thank you so much, Mr. Lock, for becoming a cheap cat. Yeah, a lot of people have become members since the cheap cat tier. Again, I want to know the science on like how many would have become members otherwise, and like, did we lose money or gain money by introducing a super cheap tier? Tipping Toy Cat is definitely a necessity. Exactly. Also, your opinions on Sweden, please. Love, says Jezza Prescott. So Sweden is one of the most interesting Nordic countries to me because they have a really quirky balance. Okay, so you know, the Nordics, the Scandinavians, whatever you want to call it, are all countries that are high tax in exchange for high government support. And people like to look at that and say, well, it's non-successful. They're also very successful. Unlike most countries that are some amount of left-leaning, it's not a ploy to enrich the government or enrich the people who are in power. It's like, oh yeah, we actually do just take a lot of money from people and then we give the same amount of money back to people in the form of various different services. More things are done by the government instead of by private individuals. But at the same time, the thing that Sweden, Norway, and Denmark do so right is they really, really, really heavily encourage, you know, private investment in terms of like entrepreneurs and stuff, but also foreign investment. They make the countries good countries to do business in, despite that being a thing. So it's like if you actually had a model, if you wanted to be a country like them, Sweden's a good country to aim for. I think they're richer per person than like 90% of nations on Earth. However, I think the thing that makes Sweden great isn't always that. I think that makes Sweden very interesting because there's a lot of things that are done for public utility there that you don't see in other countries, which is kind of cool by itself, I'd say. But yeah, the thing I find great about Sweden is that it has like such a long, weird history, and that it's one of the like big countries of Europe. I think it's one of the biggest countries in Europe. But most of that land is just kind of nothingness, and so one of the things I like is that like all that land just belongs to the people for the most part. Like you can hike, you can camp pretty much anywhere in the country you want, and there's something kind of cool about that. Like the country, it's the country. You know, like loads of countries are like we're taking it back for the people, but really the people is their group, whatever their group may be, their in-group. But in the case of Sweden, it literally is just like, oh yeah, we all agreed we should have some stuff, so we all have it. And even if it's not my perfect model myself, they're more successful than whatever my model is. Sweden is the name of the best Minecraft song. Oops, maybe that's what they meant. Brookie Uwe. Oh, Brookie Uwu. You're right. So, oopsie. What I think is Sweden, the Minecraft song. Let's play it right now, shall we? Sweden Minecraft. C418. Because it's definitely one of the best ones, right? I think it's the one I like the most. I just want to check. I'm 99% sure. This is beautiful. This is one of the things that got me through. First of all, if this music doesn't take you back, you know, it's 2011. You're in a taiga biome. It's just started raining for the first time. You found some wolves, and you're making a house. This is the most fun you'll be having in Minecraft for a while. If this doesn't take you back, I don't know why. But Sweden is the country where Minecraft came from. Sweden is the country where Sweden rose to prominence. Think about that craziness. Now I'm gonna cry. Like this is just beauty. There's a reason I put it as my outro because it's just like I don't think any other song can create such a beautiful effect on me or on anyone maybe even. So yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Love Sweden, the country and the song. You don't maybe there's a reason. Yes, it's such a it doesn't rain in the taiga biome, you fraudulent dog. Guess what? It did back in 2011, you non-fact checking monster. But yeah, I know like everything about my first like day in Minecraft. I would pay money to like extract that, like I extract those feelings and just feel them again. Like this game that has just unlimited possibilities just being opened up all at once. And you don't even quite realize it when you first play Minecraft. You're not quite realizing what you've gotten yourself into. You don't know how big the game is. You're like, oh, this is kind of goofy. I'll play this for a bit. I can't imagine what I would have said if I could go back to 2011 me, or 2010 I think maybe even. But go back to 2000 and something me, 10 years ago, and be like, hey, in 10 years, you'll be playing this game for dozens of hours a week. I'd have been like, oh, that's a pretty interesting prediction you make there. I'd like to see the facts you're basing that on, Mr. Future Me. But yeah, this is a beauty of a game. Inject that sweet nostalgia into me. What remix of it do you use? I got a custom one made by a good friend who does 8-bit remixes. Like I believe in the art world they call it a commission. I paid him money and he made a thing customly for me. It just sounds so much like the original though that people just think it's the original. I'm glad that you knew it was a remix. What about Russia? What do foreigners really think of us, says Albie? The UK and Russia have like a strained relationship. Russia's always like... also, thank you very much, Zachary. Have you watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I have not. Yeah, Russia's seen as like the big bad, right? I guess. Why are effects pink? I think it's because I have chat set up to be pink, maybe. No. Why are they pink? Chat, why are my things pink? I assumed it was this, but apparently I'm wrong about that. Are they meant to be pink? I feel like they're not. You should do a multi-realm experiment where you have to pay to get in and compare them at the end, like the Age one. $5, $25, and $100 world. I definitely think it would be very interesting to see free Minecraft world versus 5 Minecraft world versus... I guess the highest I could do would be like the rich cat tier. I don't know, it feels a bit dirty to sell people access to the Minecraft world. I don't know how to like undo that and make that better. But yeah, I think it would be really cool to do that someday. If I ever do that, you'll never know. Because maybe I don't think I'll advertise it very prominently. Because I don't want it to be like I'm selling access to the world. I want it to be like, if you're already a tier of the rich cat, here's a little fun thing. Did you play Harvest Moon or more recently Stardew Valley? Oh, I love Stardew Valley. Again, Stardew Valley, like, it has a special place in my heart. Because not only did I love the game when I got into it, I got into it when I was on, like, my first ever trip to Asia. Like, it was a really fun trip. I went to Singapore and to Indonesia. But, I played that game for the very first time on that trip. And I had, like, the most amazing time. And it was such a good game that even though I was in one of the, you know, like, most exotic places I've ever been, I want to spend it every hour there. I was like, I'm going to leave an hour in the day when I get home, play some Stardew Valley. And, yeah, I don't know. The fact that the game is so good, it can take me away from my other biggest passion, which is Singapore. Says something wonderful, doesn't it? Says something wonderful. Also, just donate the realm money to a good charity. So, first of all, a good charity. Fun oxymoron, haha. Second of all, more seriously. No, yeah, I think I want to do it by membership tier, because that's the only way to... I don't want to take people's money in exchange for a service, because then it creates all sorts of, like... I don't want... You get what I'm saying right here? Like, I don't want the obligations that come along with selling a service for money. I would rather just give it to people who have become a member or anything. Also, Jezza Prescott, thank you very much for the $1.99 super chat. What's the next state you're going to in America, says Turtles. So I'm going to California again soon. Like, for reasons. But as far as the next new state, which might be your question, I want to go to Idaho. I might end up in New Mexico. Like, I want to see one of the states that doesn't really have a big international airport that I can fly to from California. So you better believe that's a thing I'm doing. By good charity, does that mean McDonald's? if you donate money to me, you know, you tip me money on this stream, you better believe I'm buying McDonald's with your money. Man, I was craving McDonald's really hard yesterday. I was like, oh, you know what I need in my life? A Big Mac. That was just, I don't know, something about the Big Mac sauce. Every time, I just taste the pickles and the sauce, and then the vague sense of meat is the best. Listening to you describe Dumbledore's memory pool. Have I done that one before? Or are you saying you want to listen to me describe it? Or what are you even saying? I don't even know. He has to go to California because he's in debt to a gang leader. Okay, you caught me. Don't reveal my secrets to the internet, though. So rude. Idaho's really pretty in May and June. See Yellowstone and the craters of the moon. Craters or creators? Visit Las Polos Hermanas in Albuquerque. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards Albuquerque just because there's a lot of like shows and media set there. Breaking Bad is one of them, of course. That'd be kind of fun to do, right? I think it'd be great. I don't go to McDonald's because I'm vegetarian, says Shallow Water. You know what? That comment was really shallow. See, that's funny. That's good. It's high quality is what that is. Go to Santa Cruz, I will cry, says Tawari Honey. Santa Cruz. Where's that? Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz. I feel like I've heard of it. Central Californian coast. Oh, actually, oh, yeah, that's, I'm gonna do a day trip to there at some point. From San Jose, I feel like. Because it's like, it's one of those cities that is, it's one of those places that, like, everyone in you know, like, okay, so in the UK, the places that people actually go are, like, you know, to Spain for holidays. But, like, okay, wait, okay, let me get this concept. I want to describe it. So, when you go to London, or when you go to, I don't know, anywhere in the world, the place you have gone on, like, if I go to Los Angeles on a holiday, not that I would, I don't really like LA too much. Sorry if you live in LA, your city is just not built for the sort of person I am. But when you, like, when you go somewhere for a holiday, you're holidaying in someone's, like, normal life, in a weird way. So it's interesting to see where the people in the place that you are going go to do their version of what you're doing. And I've heard that one of the big places people go to in California is Santa Cruz. I don't know why I've heard that, or where, but it's a thing I have heard. Also, so I just got here, Rise Toy Cat coming for us in stone. You know, we don't ask questions like that. That is a over-the-top question, then you won't get to hear the answer. Also, thank you so much for becoming a member. I think that was Francines Montinez. Francesca, wait, Francesca. I got your last name, your first name mixed up, so now you're Francines Martinez. Sorry, it rhymes. It's beautiful. Let me know when you go to Santa Cruz, says Tawari Honey. I'll tweet it out. That's for sure. I'll tweet out something when I'm there. I'll let people know where I'm at when I'm in America. Well, not precisely, because you know I don't wanna be murdered, but a little bit below that. Also, every time you say "you better believe," I think of your past B puns. They're embedded in me now. They're embedded in you now. No, I miss making B puns. We're gonna have to make never puns for the next update. They write themselves. I'm never gonna make any more puns about updates, guys. It's just never gonna happen. Oh man. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make this. I've had a never update video planned for a while, like all the things we know, and I've been putting it off as like, do we need to? If I just make puns the whole video, that sounds significantly more fun. So I'm never, you know, this update is fire. This you know, the problem with this update, the reason it can't be released is it's in development hell right now. I could do this all day. Oh man, you know, Minecraft just needs to keep releasing updates that are punnable, and then I'll be a happy cat. That's all we need in life. Just updates that vaguely sound like puns. I never thought of that. Says Siphon. I'll be happy if you never make another update pun. Hey, nice one, Alcazar. I liked your country puns video. That was the stupidest second channel video I've ever made, and I think it was like quite popular compared to normal. So there's a thing for you. You should never make another joke again, says Dr. Xbox. They'll never see it coming. You should visit Washington, D.C. I went to Washington, D.C., actually. I went to Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Vancouver on the same trip. It was a weird trip now that I think about it. Like, I headed all the way west. There was a long time flying in between, too. Like, you don't realize how big North America is till you, like, fly diagonally across it. Would not recommend. I mean, actually, I would recommend, but, like, I'm weird. Wouldn't recommend to a normal person. Only recommend if you are also a weird person who enjoys flying. Did you go back to New York? New York is so expensive to stay that even though it's absurdly cheap for me to fly to New York, like 200, like compared to other places in America. But by the time you add in like staying in New York, it's just cheaper to go to a new state or city and state. But yeah, there's you answered Lucian's channel. You should never fortress yourself to make puns. Toasty, you know what? Good try. Not great, though. Also, I'm never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Oh, parody video time. Never gonna give you... Wait, never gonna... I can make a whole song about the Never update. You know what? We're gonna do it, chat. We're gonna do it. Chicago's only 1.5 hours away from me. Do not recommend. I went there once, actually. I had a very close go... friend who lived in lived in the area. It was fun. There was this because every city has like a big tower. Like I don't know what it's called in Chicago, but there's also a second tower in Chicago where you can like lean against the glass and the glass leans out, so you can like be like leaning against the city, and it's the most insane, wacky thing to me. So yeah, that's my one recommendation for Chicago. I think I had a pretty tasty cookie while I was there too, so I recommend Chicago for the cookies, and yeah, I recommend Chicago for the cookies and the skyscraper. That is about the most I can say. Sears Tower. Yeah, I think Sears Tower's the one you can just, like, it's just a big tower, but there's a second tower. It's, whatever. You know, it's a city with lots of towers. I had fun when I was there. You should go to Michigan, Toy Cat. The Northern Peninsula has so much natural beauty. The problem I run into with America, unlike most of Europe, if I want to explore it, I just go to a major airport and get around from there. It's really hard to explore America if you don't drive, and I don't drive. And learning to drive is like a lot of effort, so that's my current status. Just booted Minecraft PS4 up for the first time in a while, and so all my coal became coral. You know what? If you didn't want that to happen, you shouldn't have had them start with the same letter. New England, Connecticut is truly a letdown, says Francesca Martinez. One of my favorite things is people not liking where they're from. Like, one of the universal truths I found with young people, with very few exceptions, is no one likes the area they're from. It's like, oh yeah, don't go there. Not very nice. Like, I kind of like it because I'm sick of people who just, like, blindly love a thing, like the place you're from or this or that. Like, you know, come up with reasons why you like it, or, you know, see if you do like it. See if you like another place better. Statistically speaking, you know, if you're born in America or the UK, if you're born in like one of the top 10 countries in the world in terms of most, you know, like GDP, etc. rankings, like, I can understand why you might statistically like your country best, but you might like Iran more than you like America, you know? Maybe you should move there. You look into that before you decide you're the best just because you were born there. If we all did that, the world would be a nice place, because we'd all live in places that we enjoyed, you know? I don't need a reason to love my cat, says Azuri. It's true, actually. You don't. It's true. Cats don't drive. That's, you know, a good point there, too. Ever heard of Kitty Hawk? Yeah, my town. Couldn't even decide which animal to name the town after. I know Kitty Hawk because of the, first flight ever, maybe? Yeah, I definitely hate Russia. It's cool to explore it if you don't live there. You know, I don't think Russia's like a bad place, but it's got the, like, because it's like, I think a lot of the stereotypes of Russia apply to Slavs maybe in general, but like the lack of like facial expression is like genuinely scary in times, and like the way, even like, I don't know, like the manner of speeches. When I flew to Russia, I flew Aeroflot, so like Russian state airline. I don't know if it's state actually, it might be private, but I flew the Russian airline that's like been around since the hammer and sickle days, and like the amount the pilots had to like force themselves to sound like they weren't being threatening, like, we are landing now, it is very, you know, like, because I know it's just like there's kind of a like, and I think that's like, I don't even think that's like correct. That's like clearly a racial bias that's instilled inside the Western world that clearly isn't correct, right? Like, there's so many of humanity's best things have been done by Russian scientists or doers. You know, whether they were working of their own free accord or not is maybe not relevant to that, or maybe very relevant. But yeah, I don't think Russia is a bad place. I don't think it is a wrong place. But the perception of it is that it's a big country, and it's kind of hostile towards the place that I am from. But again, perceptions aren't everything. They're just lots of things. So that was a really messy way to do that. Right there, by the way. I'll admit, tiny bit of a mess up, but it's fine. So, murder that trader. Hey, murder is not appreciated. You know, the reason you shouldn't murder people is because they didn't consent to being murdered. That is my that is the takeaway I would say you gotta have from this. Also, hey, distant neighbor. Greetings from Norfolk. Didn't you say that your world would be in the marketplace as Dr. Xbox 6000? I'm doing everything I can to get it there, but at this point I'm just saying, like, hey, I want it there. It's not there. It's not my fault it's not there. Because I would love for Minecraft to give normal people the ability to place things in the marketplace. But you need to get one of the people who already is on there to put you on. And I had a deal lined up, but it required some stuff that didn't happen. And now I wait for a solution to be found. Or, you know, maybe it might be worth contacting someone about that, maybe. I don't even know at this point, you know. There are steps that have to be taken, and I will take some of those steps. There you go, there's my specific, totally very specific point right there. Hey Toy Cat, how you doing? Says ID Activate. How's it going, my man? I'm doing pretty good. I went climbing today, and my hand is still like so busted up. Like I think bouldering's like the coolest random hobby that I've gone into recently. But like actually I don't know if I can show it properly. I've got one plaster on, but like it hurts me to do any. Wait, you can see the holes in my hand on all the fingers. There's a few more on the other hand. Like my hand is just destroyed. So yeah, I hear this is what happens when you start like. A lot of people get it when they do like manual labor. Like I don't know, it happens when you do things with your hands, and it's cool though. It's like a scar, something to cool you. You know how when you work out and it feels like you feel pain, but it's like a good pain because you did something good. I don't know if I like jumped in front of a train to save a woman. Or, you know, save a person. If I jumped from the train to save a woman that I loved or cared about, or maybe was intending to love. Maybe that's a new dating strategy. Find people who are about to get hit by trains, push them out of the way, say, hey, name's Toy Cat, here's the business card, give me a call. I feel you, man, I started skate gang, and falling over ruined my hands as well. Oh, it's the exact same thing for your little hobby. That's again, I think that's cool. I love that there's a perfect similarity there. But yeah, my hands are absolutely wrecked. So, okay, I sometimes do bouldering and it's really fun even though I'm bad. How do your muscles feel after it? Oh, the last couple of times, my muscles were wrecked all day. Even though today I went, like, pretty much as far as I could. Like, everything only hurts the tiniest bit. Maybe it'll be tomorrow where it kicks in. Or maybe I've gone to the point now where my body's just like, okay, you're gonna hurt yourself doing this. We appreciate that. But yeah, I'm hoping I build, like, some amount of strength from it. Or maybe I just build agility. I'm not really even sure. But I hate sports that exist just for the sake of like, you know, like going to the gym is just, oh yeah, I go to a place once a week where I get, you know, like okay, you know, this is a thing that I think a few celebrities have spoken about this. I think maybe Chris Pratt, you can look it up if you care. You don't care, so you don't have to look it up. But like when you go to the gym, it's not very interesting to talk about 21. It's not like, oh, so I did a 110 pound yesterday. Thinking of doing a 120 next week. There's no frame of reference for what that even means. Like, is 110 a lot? Is 120 that much? You know, what can you really do? Also, thank you, John Smith Murphy. Also, ID Activate MC is crazy. I hear you're crazy, Mr. Anthony. But, you know, when you're just talking about those things, it's like, it's hard to relate to someone about. But, you know, when you do a sport, probably don't talk about it too much, but like at least it's something, you know, you got something that's like some amount of interesting. You can probably make friends there too. I know like every person I know who got big into the gym became very dull afterwards. Or my theory is that they were very dull before. Like if your favorite form of exercise, if the thing that gets you going in the day that you can do every day of the year, none without failure, is lifting things up and down. If that's your favorite activity, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not going to say anything offensive about, you know, you or, you know, your enjoyment level for thing. But I set my bar a little bit higher for activities. I need to cover my forests in stone if I'm going to enjoy something. But yeah, so gym people, never really been hugely interested in it. And it's okay. Do you get bored of only playing one world? Soon after beating the Ender Dragon, I feel like starting over again. I start new worlds every now and then for like weird YouTube projects, but I love having the same world because I like seeing the impact I've made over this time. I definitely get that I'm not the majority. I think it's like maybe 50-50. Hey, welcome Itchy Bitch Inc. for becoming a channel member. I don't see it in the chat. Why don't I see it in the chat? You know, I agree. Also, but yeah, thank you very much for becoming a member. But also I agree, I find lifting weights very boring, says G-Bay. Yeah, it's totally true that the feeling of lifting weights, also goodbye. Good to see you, Tawari, honey. But the feeling of lifting weights, there's just it's not an activity. It's done the same thing over and over again. And that's to some degree of everything, but you're like, I know with bouldering there's like some amount of a thing with I like skiing a bit. I like you know, if you like football, you're doing an activity that happens to be exercise, whatever it may be, you know. So yeah, I'm not a gym guy, but that's because I guess I like something that's like a little mentally engaging. Even when I want to do something and just think, like run and think, I personally find it better to do something. I don't know what I'm trying to say right here, but yeah, I kind of can deal with treadmills as a way of thinking about a thing, but running is just like, this is a. Also, everyone has masochistic tendencies, and some of those masochistic tendencies include hurting yourself so that you can hurt yourself more next time. So can you notice me? I never get noticed by anyone, says Preston Hawkins. If you see it as like being noticed or not being noticed, then that might be why you're not noticed by anyone. The trick is like let me share the secrets of you. Streamers don't like look at chat and go, who deserves a notice today? Like Juani Chikos, if you feel good when you're done working out, you feel accomplished, and sitting down feels extra comfortable. It totally does, by the way. I'm not looking at people and just like working out, should I notice them or not? I'm looking at the messages that come attached to them. Like, in reality, the names could all be blurred out and we'd have a similar time, just without that feeling of recognition. The recognition's just kind of there as like hopefully a reward system for people who are saying consistently interesting, engaging things. And maybe even the opposite for those who aren't. But yeah, just like join the conversation, whatever we're talking about. What are your thoughts on it? If you have interesting thoughts on it, is that going to add to the conversation? That's my real kind of take here. Like, if you want to be noticed, don't say poo poo gang like Stephen Booze. Or is it bad I chew my sting? You get the point. Like, it's rough to say, but on the internet, there's no like social bonds with a stranger on the internet. You know, that's actually quite obvious. I thought that was brutal, but that's true, right? Everyone agrees with that. There's no social bonds of strangers you've just met right now. If you just clicked on my stream right now, 1, make sure to subscribe, you know. Gotta get 1.5 million subscribers somehow. And 2, like, we don't have anything in common. You gotta build that. What are your opinions on gay rights? Please answer. Oh, so here's the thing about gay rights. I think they have too many. We need gays to take more lefts. I just feel like... No, I think all humans should have the same rights, personally. Thoughts on black people? What am I gonna say in response to this? You know, here's another way to get in. Give your boy money, fried chicken for for Andrew Toycat right here, and in exchange, I will answer your question. And if it's a good one, I'll even like you a bit more in exchange too. You can basically buy friendship on the internet. Or you can buy the illusion of friendship in a parasocial relationship with your favorite YouTuber, which is basically the same thing. What is your opinion if water is wet? Man, okay, you know what, is water wet? It's a fun for everyone. Are fish wet or not? Welcome to the Support Cat Club, Raspberry Tea. You know what, loving the tier of membership you got right there. And loving your name, honestly, Raspberry Tea. I mean, your profile picture with your name. Chat, are fish wet, yes or no? Fish are wet, yes. Fish are not wet, no. Let me know. Why do you and Wattles stream at the same time on Thursdays? I reckon Wattles stole my live stream time. That's what I reckon, Jessica. I reckon he's got it out for my live stream time. Yes. No, they are fish. Yes. Fish are obviously wet, guys. Fish are a bit damp. Well, you know what? Most people seem to agree, actually. Fish are, in fact, wet. Fish are, in fact, wet. I don't know if I agree with that, though. Like, are you wet if you're surrounded by water all the time? Like, to me, wet is, like, on something. Also, come to Baltimore and the DMV area. You know what? I have not heard good things about the DMV. You know, I'll pass on going to the DMV in America. But as far as the Detroit Metrovania area, better believe I'll head over there. What should be on Toycat as yes, it's David Farina official. Toycat is, in fact, very yes. That's my opinion. You're awesome YouTuber and fish wet boys. I love you. Thank you. Okay, you know what? Fish wet boys. Appreciate the tone there. It's a very sincere, lovely message. But I just fish wet boys. I mean, you know, whatever. It's fine. Is lava wet? That's a good question too. Is lava wet? I mean, it's a liquid. If I'm surrounded by blood orange lemonade, I'm wet, I would say. I mean, you can be wet in a whole host of scenarios, though. Who knows if this is included? So, yeah, no, I don't think fish are wet because if you're surrounded by water all the time, how do you, like, if you get the fish out of the water, it's wet. But is it wet while it's in the water? Like, yeah, but like, is the word wet correct? I mean, I guess so. I guess, you know, it just feels like they're not, okay? Thank you, Wolfmaster, for the super chat. Blood orange lemonade has water in it. Wait, is every liquid? No, 100% ethanol has no water in. There are liquids that are made from things that aren't water. Do all liquids contain water? Do all liquids contain water? Ethanol has no water, yet these are all liquids. Yet mercury can be a liquid too. I knew it wasn't a fact. Every liquid is water, chemistry. Okay, whatever. So, water is on them all the time, so to say they're wet all the time. So they're just wet all the time, except when they get out of the water, then they're dry. I don't know, that feels a bit wrong. Are you wet if you're in water? Says Francisco Martinez. Are you wet if you're in water? I'm picturing myself in the bath right now. I guess I don't like the. I don't think you are, but you probably are. DC, Maryland. No one cares about Virginia. Come here. Just used to this. I already came to DC, so my odds of revisiting too soon are not amazingly high. I do need to visit North and South Carolina sometime, so that's the closest I can promise you. Actually, technically speaking, I've been to Virginia because I've been to DC's airport in Virginia. Sorry, Virginia, ticking you off the list without even needing to travel to you. Also, anxiety is very fun when the teacher screams at me for crying in the bathroom alone. Oh, you know, that was a message that I'm not as helpful with than your therapist. Not reading out that one. So my grandpa said to get in the water, not to get rained on. What sort of advice is that? Get in the water, don't be rained on. It's better when you're in here, trust me. Virginia's lame too. Not West Virginia. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. Am I right, boys? Am I right? Anyway, so I think we've done a pretty good job today. It's like midnight. It's pretty late. I have some silly stuff I want to do tomorrow. Again, these streams are just kind of fun. I will likely be streaming tomorrow evening. If you want to catch my stream, then you better show up here at 8 PM. Or 4 hours ago, but tomorrow. 20 hours from now, I'll be live streaming. But just because I know a lot of you love seeing these, I'm about to record a bit for a video. So what I'm going to do is just show you the progress. Compare it to my existing ones. Because again, every one of these big projects I try to make a video for. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. I think for this, I'm like here, maybe? I'm going to find which point I've been doing it for these previous live streams. What do I call this? Stone Forest, maybe? Stone Forest 2. Stone Project. Okay, Stone Project 2. So I find my old file. However, I'd be like, here's what we've done so far. Like a pretty sizable area that is just stone. Okay, so now I remove the webcam, and now we go like this. Okay, another live stream down, and as you can see, we've made really good progress here. We've got very little area left to be covered by the stone. The vast majority of the birch forest has now been covered in the stone, and that means that we just basically have to deal with the trees now, and we've got ourselves a nice little terraform biome. Something to break up the monotonous journey as we do this, you know, continuous blue-white boat finger frost. I messed up. Let's just try it again, you know? Here's something else you just saw. You saw me mess up live on the video because I tried to say things and sometimes I mess up. Okay, so this is the progress after another live stream. As you can see, we're pretty much finished now, with a few exceptions, a few patches to be filled in here, there, and in between the trees. You can see how, like, this, you know, this project's really coming together. We've almost finished the ground, and then we just have to do the trees and the leaves, and we've, you know, added something nice to the world, another little break in the monotony, and yeah, I am going to go get to another stream, though, and get the last of this done, because it's still quite a lot of stone we have to place. It's still quite a lot. Okay, there we go. Now you see. So yeah, there's gonna be like some stream highlights probably, or I don't even know. But for now, hey people not watching the live stream, people can in fact watch just the video version of this, and they'll have no idea what you mean by that. Anyway though, I hope you all enjoyed this video thingy. I know, this live stream thingy. It was a bit shorter than normal, but you know what? Blame it on the donations and say that I'm not working for free, damn it. Why won't you give me money? I hope you all enjoyed the live stream. Give me a thumb up if you liked the video. Become a member if you really liked it. And whack that subscribe button with your left palm if you really liked it. Because I'm going to see you all in another live stream. Goodbye. Just going to make eye contact with you till you leave. It'd be nice if you did. Weather's pretty good. It was like 2 degrees a few days ago. It's more like 6, 7 now. It's good. It's good times. That's a cool idea, Undead Kitchen. I might do that. Okay, goodbye, wait. Goodbye, everyone. Wait, good. I will be back tomorrow for more wooden tools, everyone. Goodbye. Oh, my hand hurts so bad. Like, I'm not... You can see the hole in it, right? You don't meant to have holes in your hand. It's the worst thing. Have a good evening. Hope the rest of your day goes better than this watching Toy Cat drink a can of orange juice goes.